Hello and welcome to a small tour of all the quirks of my studio. Some of the details that are present in my workspace. First of all, we have this little sign over here which has my name on it, which I put there because I got it for my house when I moved house. They made one for me so I could put it up the outside of the house, and I didn't want to use it, but I did want to use it here, so now it looks like it's my studio. I'm very important. This is my studio, of course, and it recently added, well, I didn't add it, but I had it made, this edition. And now I can work standing up, which is good. And it makes you write songs quicker because it's not as much fun to stand up while working. I have the colored lighting also that you might have seen. It's a Philips Hue system. All of these lights are Philips Hue spots. And here's a little controller that has presets in it for certain lighting situations. So I have this pimpin' light set up, and I have one that is just mellow for evening work. And then I have one that is like super concentration white light. And then with an app you can set it manually every single light, or you can have it react to the music using a Chrome extension. A very important addition to my studio, a drawer. As you can see, this furniture is meant for, like, you know, mastering rooms, for example, where there'll be a lot of gear in these slots. And because I don't have that much outboard gear that fits in one of these slots, I had to close it up with these plates. Now these plates will start to vibrate if you screw them in too tightly. They become a resonating membrane, basically. So I screwed these in all at different depths, so to speak. So they're kind of like offsetting one another with the vibration, so it doesn't make a sound. And I added a drawer because I figured, you know, if there's nothing in there that's really any use, why not try to put a drawer in there? And so I did, but it's not very handy because you have to pull this thing down and then you can pull it out. And obviously, you know, tennis balls, very important to have in a studio. And then it always just kind of closes like that. So it's not a very easy drawer to use. Yeah, and here there's a hole because I want to keep this keyboard close to my setup, so I took these out and just moved it in. You don't really notice it that much. And another cool thing, I guess, is the wires from all this stuff, they go through here because they go through to the sound card and to the computer, so they're all connected through here. And when this goes up, there's actually a counterweight on the other side that makes sure that when it goes down again, it pulls all the cables in neatly. So now when it goes down, they get pulled into the furniture and align so that I don't have to worry about it making like a loop or something. Yeah, it's really important stuff for when you're making drum and bass. And this is my drum kit. I bought it for, I think, 150 euros. And I'm really glad I did. I really love playing drums. I'm not very good at it, but I always play drums when I take breaks in the studio. And yeah, it's a lot of fun. So obviously this is a horrible resonator and the drum skins will vibrate, and to try and offset that as much as possible, there's these rings. They're very common, the transparent plastic rings that you can buy to put in your drum kit to deaden the sound a bit. And these tapes, these things that my drum teacher put on there, that make the vibration deaden quicker. So it is a very dead drum kit. You're actually, when you're hearing ringing, you're actually hearing the cymbals ring. So yeah, it's pretty dead, but obviously still, if you're blasting the music, something might vibrate. Snare is also quite dead. I put a little kid's tambourine on top to add some flavor to to the snare, which is fun. And I have a smoke machine. I got this for my birthday from Walter, our manager. And this is, yeah, it's meant for, I guess when I told everybody I had the reactive colored lights in my studio and the furniture that could go up and down, all these kind of silly, tricked out things that I figured the only thing we could really add that it needs now is a smoke machine. So there's the smoke machine. Here, oh look there, you can see the AC going. You can see it blowing the smoke away. So that's an AC duct at the very top. And that's meant to, so the AC controls are over here. And there's these big ducts that flow all the way to the top. And they deaden the sound of any fans that the AC might make. So it's a big routing to go there to the front, and then I think here it gets sucked up again. So it's a quiet system. Yeah, so not using the smoke machine that much because obviously I don't really know what it does to the gear. So I'm not going to run it full blast right now, but at least you've seen a glimpse of it.
You have the option.
You have the option, and that's important.
Life is about options.
Life is about options and having them. So a big feature that I, from the get-go, wanted to get installed into this desk is this guy, the Cranesong Avocet remote. It's a device that is mostly used in mastering. It's a volume control, and volume controls are actually kind of a deep thing in audio because a lot of them will color the sound as you turn it up or down. This one doesn't color the sound in any way, and it has a bunch of ways to select different speakers, different inputs. But the cool thing is, this volume button knob has actual physical relays that change. So it's an actual physical connection being made when you rotate this. Now, in here you don't hear that because this is only the remote. Out front I have the actual box that does all the hard work. And when I rotate this, you'll hear it actually clicking from relay to relay. So let's step outside for a sec. So here we have the box, outside box of the studio. It's a temporary setup, as you can see, because obviously it's meant to be closed. We have the Noisia logo in here, which is really awesome. And this is where we basically hide all the stuff that we don't want in the studio. So we have the computer here, so you don't have any noise from it. And then also the amps from the speakers are actually in here. So this is one amp, and behind there is another amp, so that if there's any repairs needed, we don't have to go through the glass, and you can use the amp here, or work on the amp here. So there's a power surge protection and battery way in the back over there. It's like just a standard unit that'll make sure that it doesn't, when the power goes, your computer doesn't blow out or doesn't stop. There's a Philips Hue little hub there. There's a network hub, and then here is the Cranesong unit. And so this is where all the ins and outs are on the back, and this is where the physical relays happen. So I'll go in the studio now and turn the knob, and you can hear what it does. So that's kind of a cool sound, but you don't really want that in your studio, I guess. I mean, it's nice that it's outside, that I don't hear it. But yeah, this is the guts
box.
The guts box. Of course, fire safety is very important in a studio. So we have these, but they also have the slightly annoying side effect of being quite resonant. That's pretty sound, but if you have a studio that is rated for 6 dBs maximum deviation across the entire spectrum, and you have to put that in there, it's kind of a bummer. But then again, so is all this other stuff I put in here. Except that's actually fun. This is no fun.